Hey, what's up? So I've never really been an enjoyer of reading, and I've had to think about it. I've got a few reasons why that is the case. Maybe you'll be able to resonate, or maybe this will help explain why you don't like reading as well. So first of all, reading is hard. It takes a lot of focus and effort, and not only focus, sometimes you need to be able to recall parts of the book you read earlier because they make references to it later down in the book. You probably need a quiet space to read, and sometimes it's hard to jump in and out of reading because you need to also be in the right headspace for reading, depending on what you're reading. And sometimes books have way too many references to other books, to other people that you don't really know, you don't really care about. And I guess it's just the book's way of kind of giving credit to people where they got their inspiration from. But when you're reading the book, it kind of takes it out of context, giving you names of people that you don't really know. Sometimes books use vocabulary that are outside of your vocabulary, and that's okay every now and then. You can just look up the dictionary and learn a new word, but sometimes maybe you pick up a book that's a little bit above your reading grade and makes it difficult to read. Number two, so during school and university, you read a lot, and even during work, I read a lot for work. So any chance I get to not be reading, I think is probably good for balance. There is a slight difference, obviously, with school reading because often it's prescribed books, whereas if you pick a book that you want to read, I think it's a little bit different. But that's neither here nor there. Number three, so sometimes books are there to explain something to somebody else who might not know what that thing is. And so when somebody is explaining something that you already know, it doesn't take that much effort to get that message across. You know, if I said 1 + 1 = 2 and you understood 1 + 1 = 2, that's all I would need to say. Now, if you didn't understand what 1 + 1 equals and I'm trying to explain that to you for the first time, then it might take me more effort, more words, a book, if you will, to get that message across. You know, I might be like 1 + 1 = what? You don't know. And then I'd have to break it down like this is how math works. You know, 1 atom plus a second atom equals 2 atoms. But then if somebody thinks 1 water droplet plus a second water droplet just equals 1 bigger water droplet, even though you could break it down atomically that it's still double the number of atoms, it obviously takes me more to explain that. So sometimes when you understand a concept, then you don't need a whole book to get that message across. A kicker. So this isn't necessarily a reason why I dislike reading, but there are alternatives to getting information. You know, there are audiobooks, there are people you can talk to and learn from, there are videos, other mediums other than books that you can get information from. So it's not a reason why I dislike reading, but just alternative. And there are some reasons why I do like reading though, or where I see value in reading. When you're learning something new or when you're building up knowledge on something you already know, then reading can be very useful. Sometimes people can put into words an idea or that maybe you haven't been able to articulate fully or concisely, and someone might be able to just put that into words very elegantly. I find those times reading can be really nice. Or even sometimes just hearing a reiteration of something you might already know at a certain time in your life can hit different as well. And when you can resonate with an author or what somebody's written, that's always nice when you kind of get reinforcement to your own thoughts, I guess. So reading does have its time and place, but just generally, I know there are people who really enjoy reading books. They love reading books. I'm just personally not one of those people. But sometimes it has to be done. Anyways, those are a few reasons why I don't like reading. Maybe it resonates. Maybe it explains why you don't like reading. Thanks for watching. See you next time.